Hey guys, Kevin here with Crescent Moon Rising. We got Dillon today with us, and we're going to be talking about the Sky Striker deck profile that he's made here. Obviously, with the new ban list. So Dillon, where did you use this, and how did you come up with this list?
Okay, so this was originally going to be like one of my deck lists for YCS Charlotte and like future events that would have happened if all the pandemic stuff didn't happen. Um, I built this deck just out of boredom, and then seeing that Widowmaker came off the ban list at 2, I decided to give the deck a try again and see how things would run. And so far, I'm liking the concept of the deck. It's still pretty consistent. You know, the lack of search cards like Engage and Pot of Desires and stuff like that, kind of hurts. But you just gotta do with what you have. So, yeah.
Yeah. So,
Yeah.
there's, looking at this versus the other ones that you sent before, right? Because
Right.
you've shared Sky Striker deck profiles with me before. Um, I can see a few things that are different, but not a whole lot. What is different in this deck that, in your opinion, has made it better?
Okay, so what I've changed from this list, from previous list, as you can see, Rose has been legal for quite some time now. I was testing ratios at like 1 to 2, found that 3 was best because the way my deck is set up, you want to OTK with Utopia double, or you just want to have like more consistent cards in your hand, like consistent cards in your hand. So you can always get free access to your striker links. So Rose was bumped up. I cut Area 0 to 2 since it's no longer searchable. And as many of you can tell, I don't have like MSTs or Cosmics in my deck. And so like you're not really revolved around your zeros because, like I said, you just want to grind out. So you play Mystic Mine. I bumped that up to 3. I was previously playing 2. But like I said, I thought I found Mystic Mine being more superior than Area 0. And Area 0 is also searchable. If you have like a striker like Ray or Rose, you can send it off a Hayate and then add it back with Kagari, since Engage is no longer illegal. Afterburner and Jamming Waves got bumped up to 2. Afterburner just being a card that pops any monster on the field, and also being able to destroy a spell trap card is also really helpful. Same with Jamming Waves. Like I said, I don't play MSTs, so you can always Ray, summon Hayate, send the field spell, add it back with Kagari, set the field spells face down, and then Jamming Waves the field spell is just like a searchable field spell. And since you're playing 6 normal summon monsters now, the third Area 0 is never like really like live, because once you see like both, you can always just Utopia double TK. And if you're not seeing both and you're just playing the standard striker plays with like multi-row set 3 and pass, Shark Cannon, pretty sure that's always been a 2. I still keep base in the deck, Hercules base, even though Pot of Avarice is at 3. Just being able to recycle back your links after you use your Pot of Avarice is nice. Same with Widowmakers, you can always just put back like multi-rows and stuff like that Pot of Avarice can't do. Added 2 Lightning Storms because this deck is a hard-going second deck. And against like heavy combo decks, you want to get rid of their monsters. And against like Guys, Guru and stuff, you want to get rid of the back row. Mind Control's at 1. I still play it though because it's another Widow Anchor. 3 Mystic Mine, of course, because you just want to outgrind your opponent. And the interaction with that and Utopia double is pretty insane. Once you summon your Utopia double, you activate Mystic Mine, or you can already activate Mystic Mine, summon your Utopia double, and then they can't Ash the search. And then you just summon Utopia and attack free game. Set rotation, double or nothing. It's still going second list, so I still play evenly matched. Even if you clear their board and you have like no other plays, you can always just like summon a Ray after you evenly, and then Shizuku add like any card you want and just pass. Like you're still being able to play even though you're just like evenly Shizuku pass because you still have Ray in the grave. and it gives you like access to a bunch of other links that can like prevent you from losing the game. That's pretty much it for the main deck. I think I would keep it the same. I don't think there's any changes I would make. Like I said, you don't want to play like Pot of Extravagance or Pot of Desires because those cards are, especially like Desires, since everything in here is basically a one-of still. Yeah, like you can always just like search your Widow Anchors and your Shark Cannons and stuff before you play Pot of Desires. But you're banishing too many cards in your deck. And then like late game, since like this deck is not as powerful as it was, you can't really like grind heavy late games.
Right. So before I get you to move on, looking on this list, you still play the little Metal Foes Fusion package in there.
Yeah.
I've looked at a few of the other deck profiles for this since the new ban list, right? I mean, there's not obviously a lot to go off of because there's no real competitive play outside, Dueling Book, Yu-Gi-Oh! Pro. But with a lot of deck profiles, I've noticed a lot of people have taken that out. Do you agree with that, or is this just you enjoy Metal Foes Fusion package more?
I think it's a player preference. Because you can always play like a third Lightning Storm, or you can play like a third Shark Cannon, or in other player's choice, you can always play like a second Pot of Avarice. But it allows you to dump like any card to your graveyard. So like Shark Cannon, if you want to summon Ray, summon Kagari, add back like the Shark Cannon or the Widow Anchor you sent off of goods. Like you can also send Metal Foes Fusion. It also says draw a card. It's just giving you like a third spell in the graveyard. And you're also thinning out your deck for like consistency purposes.
Gotcha. Same thing with the Hercules base. I've noticed some people took it out. I guess that's just another player preference thing, or would you say that's one of the dumb options?
To me, it's another player preference thing because, like I said, Pot of Avarice is only allowing you to shuffle back monsters, which Hercules base is allowing you to shuffle back spells as well.
Gotcha. Okay. Well,
and it also says draw cards whenever your monsters destroy an opponent's monsters by battle.
Right.
So that's pretty helpful.
Right. Okay. Moving on to extra deck, it's pretty standard, right? I mean, there's nothing really different except the addition of what's her name, Zeke. I don't even know Seeger
like Zeke.
Or whatever they called her. Yeah.
So I thought about playing two, but like going back to the Pot of Avarice and the Hercules base, it's just recyclable.
Right.
So you can always recycle it back and then summon it again. And once you use, like, I hardly ever use the first effect to banish something, but it's helpful. The second effect never really comes up. Maybe if you like have a Hercules base or like a Metal Foes Fusion, you could always send it and then make it gain 1,000 attack or something.
Okay.
But the one is enough. Like you just have, like you're just trying to like kill with Utopia. You're not always trying to summon Seek.
Right. Okay. Well, I don't think there's much else that you would like to talk about with the extra deck. If there is, correct me. But it's pretty standard, right?
Yeah. I mean, I guess we could talk about Kaina being at one. Again, Pot of Avarice and Hercules base shuffling back. She's just there just to like stop you from dying. So I cut the second one for a unicorn. So my reason for unicorn is just you want to have like another out to heavy like boards. So against like say a let's just say like Altergeist, for example, you need to get rid of like Silicoides or Hexia. There's ways of like summoning unicorn because you have Shark Cannons, Widow Anchors, Mind Controls, etc. It's also just like another card that'll clear out just like stuff.
Right. No. Yeah. I get that.
But, yeah, that's pretty much it for the extra deck.
Okay. Then tell me about your side deck here. There's some interesting options in here that.
We'll start with Nibiru. So Nibiru is just there for all the combo decks, especially Salad, since Salad is like a huge prevalent deck in the format. Even though the format's like not really defined yet, Salad is still going to be one of the top tier decks, just because the Master Rule actually gave it like a little boost, which people don't understand. sooner or later, I will profile that combo or the deck and explain like how that deck got a little boost. And against like all the Christian Needle Fiber decks, you just want something like help you play against those decks. Bring Your Tops is always like a standard card that people would side. It gets rid of Imperial Order. It gets rid of like every problematic card there is. You can also summon an attack and then clear something, so you can always have your spell and trap card zones live for your striker cards. Warrior from the Return, the Last Warrior from Another Planet. That's like a huge spicy attack card. I got that off of Nicholas Ortiz. So against like certain decks, because if you win game one, because you're going second, so if you win game one, your opponent's gonna make you go first, since like you're going second deck. So they're gonna side in like Lightning Storms, Twin Twisters, stuff like that. So I'll also play Awakening the Dragon. So against like certain matchups, so say like Dinos and like any Needle Fiber deck that plays Lightning Storm, you can always just like set the Awakening the Dragon off a trap trick. They pop it with Lightning Storm. You summon Warrior from Another Planet, and then neither player can summon monsters, so it just stops your opponent from playing. It also stops you from playing, but it's not like a huge deal because you're just poking at them for a game until like they're dead or they just have no more resources.
Right.
Demise of the Land. You play Mystic Mind in the main deck, so if you're going first, take out like the Evenlies and the Lightning Storms, put in Demise of the Land. It's really crucial against like Salad and Christian Needle Fiber decks and stuff like that. Same thing with DDG. It's a good against like every deck, especially like Salad, Orcus, any Needle Fiber deck. You're just banishing every card, every monster in their graveyard, so they're probably not being able to play. Awakening the Dragon is just there for the Warrior, and then Trap Trick is because you're searching Awakening the Dragons, different dimension grounds, and if you really wanted to, you could search Evenly Matched.
Right. Whoa. Okay. That's actually really nice to see. Something different, especially that nice little spicy tech, the way that it would be played. Really nice. Tell me about the matchups.
Okay, so you favor Salad. Even like older formats when engaged with Silting, this deck always favored Salad. It was like a 50-50 matchup, depending on how well you drew. You can always Shark Cannon like the Spinnies, Jack Jaguars, Gazelles, and stuff. Widow Anchors take everything. So it's a pretty fair matchup there. Against Orcus, it's a bit of a grind. Since they play Needle Fiber, they can always set up like Dingarisu, Crescendo, Galatea Pass. It's a little hard to play around. They can also IP you with Topologic Trisbania, so they're banishing all your spells and stuff. But if you correctly play like around all their negates, then you could always Mystic Mine. And if you have like a bunch of resources in your hand, like Ray and Rose, you can always just Utopia double TK. Against the Needle Fiber decks, you just hope that your Evenlies or your Lightning Storms do enough, or your Mystic Mine resolves. If not, then you're just like a huge grind game, which usually you should always win grind games, unless they're just way too ahead of an advantage. Against the back row decks, you just favor the back row decks because you're going second. You got Jamming Waves, Lightning Storms, Evening Matches, stuff like that. Against Dinos, since that's also a going second deck, it's a little bit hard because if you just pass, like, they're going to kill you. But usually, like, you would just summon, like I said, like, Ray just allows you to not die, hopefully. Because whenever they kill one of your links, you can summon Ray, then summon Kaina, and then prevent like an attack and hope that survives your turn. And if so, you can always just outgrind them still with Utopia. That's honestly all you want to do with this deck is just Utopia double DK.
Okay, yeah. So, with that being said, that being the, I guess what you would call the main strategy, right? Obviously going for that. Everything else is just kind of a nice way to clear board to be able to do that then, more or less, or stall the setup for that. Yeah,
like you're not getting interrupted with all these going second cards.
Right. All right, well. That's actually really different. It's nice to see how this deck has evolved from where it started and how it was played to where it is now with, obviously with hits and all of these other decks that are, around now, and because of the ban list and whatnot, and changes to the revisions for Master Rule and everything like that. So yeah, this is actually really cool. I know originally when you told me that you had another, list, I thought, oh, another list,
Right.
but this is actually really interesting to look at, and it's it seems like a lot of fun too. It does seem somewhere between, you know, skilled and somewhere in the middle, right?
Right.
Yeah, and but like with any deck, right? I guess you just have to play it and play it and play it, right?
Yeah. So it's mainly just your late grind games. Like I said, this deck has like a huge problem in the late grind games, but if you manage like your plays well enough, you should be fine.
Well, all right. Is there anything that you think I missed, or that you want to talk about before we wrap it up?
No, I think that's pretty much it. I mean, just to be spicy, if you wanted to, you could play Needle Fiber in this deck. You can add like, what's the one card? What's a psychic? That's one of the hand traps. Cherries.
Cherries, yeah.
Yeah, you can cherries, play E-Telly, summon cherries, make Needle Fiber, and then just start like a little combo. But other than that, like this, I think this deck is just pretty simple and like should be played how this list is. There might be changes in the future. I don't know yet. I don't think there will be though. But if anything, I'll let you know.
Okay, yeah, for sure. Yeah, if that's all you have, then that's all I have too. So.
Yeah. I do want shout outs though before we end it.
No, yeah, go ahead.
First shout outs to Lex Wingate. That's my boy. He ended up getting first at a prize card tournament that we played in. Shout outs to Malvin Dionisio. He's my striker mentor. That's where I get most of my ideas from. And then I also help him with some of his deck ideas. Shout outs to my boy Devin Banham. Also, one of my striker mentors. We kind of talked about this deck a bit. Shout outs to Yugioh Diaz. That's my boy. That's my Shadal mentor. Shout outs to my brother Gio. Shout outs to Steven Lorengo. Shout outs to Polly Arson. And shout outs to Kevin for allowing me to do this deck profile.
I mean, yeah, anytime for sure. Yeah, but like I said, if that's all you got, then that's all I got. And thank you all for joining us for this interview in this pretty interesting deck profile for sure. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. Check out the Patreon. It's going to be updated pretty soon with new rewards. Check out our Discord, link down in the description as well, where you can ask me. And Dillon, are you in that group, that Discord group?
I think so.
For the channel, yeah. So if you have more questions or anything like that, or Dillon's really good with his deck, along with the mentors that he has, so they'll be able to give you some really good advice if you come and actually want to learn and whatnot. So join the Discord, ask a few questions here and there. Really good learning experience for everybody. And yeah, I hope everyone stays safe in these trying times. And yeah, this is Kevin and our guest here, Dillon, on Crescent Moon Rising. Until next time, guys.
See ya.